How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today's video is all about patience, and it's going to take time. Sometimes you're eager and you want things right now. You see others moving so fast, and we see others accomplishing things, and we feel like we're falling behind them. But let this video be a reminder to you that all that worry is a load of nonsense, and the things that you're working towards, they take time, and it doesn't just happen overnight. There's no shortcut or there's no magic that's going to get you where you want to be without the work. It's kind of a slow process built of consistency over hours, days, and sometimes even months and years too. We can't wait for the perfect conditions. We have to realize that time is the key, and it's so easy to get demotivated when things don't fall into place straight away. How many times in your life have you sat there and felt like you needed or wanted some instant gratification for doing something? And we have to stop delaying, because the real work that we want to do is starting now. Maybe there's something in your life that you're wanting to do, but you keep telling yourself that you're going to get around to it tomorrow or around to it next week. I've done it countless times in my 20s, and these are the kind of thoughts that can eventually really hurt us, because it becomes comfortable for us. It's so easy to get discouraged when it feels like other people have it all figured out. Sometimes it feels like we're in a race to get things done or be the first person in a friendship group to accomplish certain things. I think in my 20s I spent a really long time exhausting myself and my mental energy on the thoughts of why my friends have certain things but I don't. And reflecting on it now, I've kind of always been one of the last person in my friendship group to achieve certain milestones that society pressures us to do. So I was the last one to get a serious girlfriend, I was the last one to find my career job, I was the last one to move away from my parents and buy a house, and all these things. When you see your friends do it, you're like, oh, they do it, I'm not there yet. And these kind of things can be frustrating. It's important at these times to remind yourself not to compare yourself to them. Your journey is unique to you, and everyone figures things out at different times. For sure, it's frustrating. Maybe you don't see the results you expected, and you've put so many hours in, days and months, and you still feel so far from your goals, and maybe there's not much to show for it. But that's normal, and it's okay. It's part of the process of growing as a person. And every small step forward is a small mark of progress towards the goal you have. And we have to keep nudging that forward day by day. Every time you're able to push through that doubt, when you have those doubts about if you should continue to do something, you need to show that resilience. And every time you push through that, you will show it. And being resilient is probably one of the most important things you can go through in life. Think in your life so far, when have you shown resilience? I think for me, in the 2020 pandemic, I was in China, and at that point it was the most crazy lockdown rules you can ever imagine. And one weekend I'd managed to actually get away for a weekend on a plane to somewhere down south, and on the way back there was some COVID case on my plane. And I remember I got back to my apartment, and I had the disease control center phone me, and they said, there's been a COVID case on your plane. You need to get your suitcase and you need to go to solitary confinement or quarantine, whatever it's called, for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, that's the worst thing ever. So anyway, I packed my suitcase. These guys turned up at my door with hazmat suits, and they were ordering me. It was crazy. They were just shouting at me to go outside, get in this hazmat suit. The whole neighborhood's staring, people are on their phones. There's this white guy, and they're taking him away in these hazmat suits. And I got taken away in this van to this hotel, and in this hotel I had to stay there for 2 weeks. I couldn't open the door, I could barely open the window, and they come and tested me every day. I tested negative every single day, and at that point I really kind of questioned what I was doing with my life. It was I'm stuck in this little hotel room for 14 days over something that I've tested negative for, and it continued. And then after the 2 weeks, I was like, great, everything's going to wrap up. And then they hit me with someone else on that plane tested positive, you need to do another week. And I was like, yeah, but I've tested negative 14 days in a row. And they were like, no, it's the rules, you have to do it. And I was like, I get my embassy on the phone, like, what can I do? There's got to be a way that this is like, I'm going to go insane for just staying in this room. And eventually that week passed. Eventually I could go back home and go back to a somewhat normal life. But that time showed me that I can be resilient. And I kind of use that in a way that whenever I find myself having difficulties or whenever I'm getting impatient with something I'm working towards, I try always to remember that time when I was stuck in that room and how I couldn't do anything, and didn't really have many people to talk to, and I stuck it out and I managed to get through it, and it kind of just helps me. So I can draw on experiences that I've been through to push forward and help me with these other ones. And there's probably some stuff in your guys' life too that you can draw the same kind of things from. I hope me talking about my experiences is helpful for you guys, and I really hope that some of you can relate to it in some way or form. And if you're having a bad day or a bad week or just a bad few months or a year in general, keep pushing through. Things will get better over time if you keep your head down, keep working, focus on the goals that you have. Try not to compare yourself to people around you or people that you went to school with or things like that. I know it's super difficult, and we kind of always end up falling into that trap. Even me now, just starting my 30s, I found myself thinking the other day that quite a few of my friends have started to have like children and families and everything, and they're kind of out having like these family days out and everything, and obviously me, I don't have any kids right now, so you kind of maybe always have this feeling that you're, in brackets, falling behind. But put it to one side, focus on your journey, enjoy the things that you're doing, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.